Agencies estimate there are 11 million undocumented immigrants currently living in the United States. Now, for more on Trump's immigration policies, here with us is former Department of Homeland Security senior advisor and author of Terrorist on the Border and in Our Country, Charles Marino. Charles, good morning. Nice to see you again.
Likewise, Hena. How are you?
Great, thank you. Encounters at the southern border have dropped dramatically since Trump took office a week ago. Let's talk about this new norm. Do you see this activity as something we will see happen over the next 4 years?
Absolutely. You know, this strategy is built upon declaring this a national emergency. And as such, the strategy includes a whole of government approach. And that means that no longer will entitlements stay in play within the United States. We saw close to 100 executive orders on the first day of the administration, many of those having to do with entitlements like the CBP-1 Act and allowing asylum and parole, legal ways to come into the country, be exploited, be put to a stop. So we're also going to see law enforcement be used besides ICE and just CBP. He's already extended the statutory authority to allow agencies like the FBI and DEA and ATF to participate in these illegal immigration operations. And then finally, what we're going to see is the use of the military. We see it both down at the border, and we're also going to see it on the logistics side. And that has to do with return flights to either countries of origin for these illegal migrants or to a third safe haven.
I wanted to ask you about the military presence. What is your reaction to the administration sending active duty troops to the border, with more expected in the upcoming days?
Yeah, I think it's important. It aids in the enforcement. CBP's numbers have been down due to the hit in morale that they've taken over the past 4 years. They definitely need help. You see that already with the diminished numbers of encounters. It sends a strong message of deterrence. And I think you will see them down there until the situation is deemed under control. It may not last the entirety of the 4 years, but we know that the wall comes into play under President Trump. So there's going to be a physical barrier issue here, as well as technology and manpower, and allowing the manpower to do the job and making sure that CBP and ICE have the numbers to do the job that they're being asked. And if they don't, like they don't right now, then they'll be aided in any way that they can by other agencies and departments within the government.
So there are troops that are being sent to the border. There are executive orders. Do you believe this is now a long-term fix or a temporary fix?
No, it's a temporary fix based on the executive orders alone, because as we know, a change in administration could happen in 4 years, and you could have a Democrat or even another Republican that says this isn't the way to go. So the longer term fix is to work through Congress to put forth a strong border security bill. And now that you've got the border starting to fall under control, now you can talk about things like immigration reform. You know, one of the false narratives that was being portrayed, and I do thoroughly believe that it cost Biden and Harris the election, is that this false narrative of you couldn't secure the border unless you had overall immigration reform. I've always been saying that's not true. You need to actually secure the border first, give yourself time, and then go to Congress and talk about immigration reform. We're not saying that it's not needed. It is needed. The statutes, the laws, they need to be upgraded. But to say that you can't protect the homeland was just absolutely false. And look at what we have. We have criminals and national security interests that have been allowed into the country. You heard Tom Homan talk about that. And then even more importantly, how about the fact that 80,000 of the missing 350,000 unaccompanied minors have already been located under the Trump administration in the first week? I mean, that's absolutely amazing. We shouldn't have to be talking about unaccompanied minors being entered into sex trafficking and human trafficking, and the previous administration having no idea or no care where these children were. It's unacceptable.
Now, Trump on Saturday. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.